Hey guys, how's it going? It's 8-Bit Eric. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about some sales numbers of Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. They've made some big waves. This game came out in the fall. This was Nintendo's like October, November release. It was a slow year for 2020, but what they did release did great. I mean, you had like Animal Crossing, Age of Calamity, Mario 3D All-Stars. They successfully sold enough copies of these games to where even though the first party and major third party releases of the Switch were kind of slow, it was a little bit of a slow year, they kicked butt. Now, Age of Calamity, if you have not played it before, I streamed it a few times. I did a review of it. It's part of the like Warriors series, like the Musou genre of games. I don't know if I'm pronouncing Musou right, but basically, if you played Dynasty Warriors, Fire Emblem Warriors, Warriors Orochi, Fate Extella, the Embryo Star, and Hyrule Warriors, they're the same type of game. They're like a hack and slash genre type of game where you have like a battlefield that has hordes of enemies. You'll see territories labeled as like A, B, C, D. The idea is to take over the map as much as you can without letting your troops be overrun, and performing certain objectives within a allotted time. They're kind of fun, but I find myself liking the Hyrule Warriors series a lot more because I'm attached to Legend of Zelda. It's my favorite video game series of all time, so I find myself wanting to play the Zelda games a lot more. Now, the two Hyrule Warrior games, the first one is not related to this one at all. It's not even canon to the Legend of Zelda timeline. Age of Calamity is, though. That's where things can get confusing. While they both say Hyrule Warriors, one of them is canon, one of them is not. This one is because it takes place 100 years before Breath of the Wild, so you see a lot of the development of the story that led to it, but there's a few swerves and a few things involving time travel. It got kind of a mixed reception what they did. A lot of people felt that this was a cop-out of a game, that they felt it did a lot of stuff to mess with the main timeline. But the beauty with Legend of Zelda is that there's multiple timelines that somehow relate to each other. I like where they went with it. I thought it was a wonderful game. I was impressed by it. A lot of fun. I'm looking forward to Breath of the Wild 2, should it eventually come out. Hopefully within this next year. Willingly, please. But enough of the rambling about this game. If you haven't played it already, go check it out for yourself. We're going to read this article. It is short and sweet, but congrats to Nintendo for crushing it again this year. As you can see, Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity is the best-selling Musou game with 3.5 million sales. So out of all the Warriors games, this is the best-selling one. Nintendo did it. Even if Koei Tecmo, or whatever the company is, yeah, Tecmo... Koei Tecmo, yeah. I was gonna say Tecmo Koei. It's Koei Tecmo. They helped make it. So, Koei Tecmo has revealed sales figures for most of its recent releases as part of Koei Tecmo's earnings report for the third quarter of fiscal year 321. The Japanese publisher shared a few details about the performance of some of its games. So they did some good stuff. So this was translated by Resetera. And they said the quarter has been incredibly successful for Koei Tecmo, in part because of its mobile games division. This record growth amounted to a 64.7% year-on-year increase on profits. That's big, considering, the whole situation with the pandemic and stuff. Video game business has skyrocketed, because people are staying home. They want to be entertained. They want to have some fun. It has definitely skyrocketed. So it says, for the console and PC full game business, the publisher revealed that Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity has been a big hit, shifting over 3.5 million units worldwide since release. That's pretty good. I think that might be on par with Breath of the Wild, as far as the number trajectory is going. Of course, everybody could say the Zelda hype behind it. I mean, that's only business. You know what I mean? Use a franchise like Legend of Zelda on top of your game so you can draw eyeballs to it. Props to them. Now, it does make it the single best-selling Warriors game ever. Now, the Japanese Asian releases of Romance of the Three Kingdoms 14, Atelier Ryza 2 were both solid, selling 100,000 units and 220,000 units. So look at the difference, 3.5 million to 100,000 or 220,000 respectively. And then it says Neo 2, on the other hand, shipped over 1.4 million on PS4 since its release. I need to check that game out. I keep hearing a lot of things about Neo 2. And the figure will likely climb when the PC version and PS5 re-release drop in February. So I guess I will be checking the PS5 version. It says, for reference, the first Neo totaled 2.5 million units sold 2 years after release across both PC and PS4. So yeah, congrats to Hyrule Warriors, man. If you guys have not played it, again, I did make a full-fledged review of it. Personally, I was really impressed with what the game offered. A must-buy on the Nintendo Switch. Actually, I would say get both Hyrule Warriors games, even though the first Hyrule Warriors is not canon or directly related to this one in any form or fashion. It's still worth checking out, especially if you like all the Zelda characters. There's a huge variety of Zelda characters in both of these games, actually. This one, though, is more the champions from Breath of the Wild and the Guardians and stuff like that. But they did have a more fleshed out story in Age of Calamity that I appreciated. I know, again, it got mixed reception, mixed results. A lot of people kind of think, you know, usually when time travel gets involved with stories and stuff, it very much divides the fan base. Like even Endgame, you know, the time travel in Avengers Endgame caused a lot of plot holes and stuff and mixed reactions to it. But this one kind of changed things around. I liked it enough to where I was like, all right, I can get behind where they're going with this, and it leaves a lot of possibilities for future Zelda games. Not just Hyrule Warriors games, but future Legend of Zelda games. Very interesting that Nintendo went with this route, with the Warriors route for a prequel to Breath of the Wild, but it kind of held over that Breath of the Wild 2 itch until that game finally comes out, which I still think it might not be coming out this year. Let's be honest, Breath of the Wild 1 was pushed back how many times? So we'll see. Hopefully they don't wait until the end of the Switch's life cycle to release that. You know what I mean? But either way, congrats to Nintendo and Koei Tecmo for releasing a successful game. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, guys. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. I'll see you guys on the next video. Thank you so much for watching.